Around the NFL, it's a Thursday edition. That means it's the things that I need to see from certain teams and things that certain teams I think have some high stakes to play for this weekend. We'll start with your Chicago Bears. It's pretty simple for me. Score effing points on the opening drive for once, for the love of God. Prove to me that something you are doing between Monday and Saturday is actually successful.
Yeah, it's resonating.
And score points on an opening drive.
Agree.
Yeah, I agree with you. I mean, it does say something that by the time they get to like that third drive, they've made enough offensive adjustments that like they're not completely out of games. It's not like when you went into, the Washington game where they're flat for 3 quarters and then the end of the third quarter, fourth quarter starts and Caleb Williams led you on what should have been 3 touchdown drives. So I think we're seeing a different Bears team that makes a better Bears offense, and it comes down to the quarterback that makes adjustments and is willing to make adjustments, and a coaching staff that's willing to make adjustments to the opponent, because I don't think in previous offensive coordinator and head coaches have done that. And if they were flat on offense to start the game, guess what? They're usually just flat on offense the whole game. So there is some improvement.
When the first quarter has been as bad as it's been in every game this year, it just feels like whatever's going on Monday to Saturday is
It'd be
not
awesome
working.
to just put your feet up for a game. It'd be great. And just be like, yeah, they got this. This is awesome. This is cool. I like this.
Okay. The LA Rams.
Beat you to it.
The LA Rams are short favorites on the road in Seattle this weekend in what I think is an absolutely wildly important game for LA. Show me the offense is back firing on all cylinders off the mini bye with Cooper Kupp and Puka Nacua healthy. If the Rams can get back to 4-4, they can legitimately contend in the NFC West. If they fall to 3-5, their season is what we thought it was, lost. And this is as important as it gets in the division on the road. You got to win this game.
Yeah, because even if you get to 4-4, and let's say all those teams end up winning, like if the Cardinals beat the Bears, 49ers win, Seahawks win.
Seahawks and Rams play each other.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's fair. So you'd be 4-4. They would be 4-5. The 49ers would be 5-4. The Cardinals would be 5-4. It still keeps you in it. I don't think it's, then that's when those games against the division matter even more for them. But yeah, the Rams are definitely not out of it.
I'll also add the 49ers are on a bye week. So if the Rams win and the Bears beat the Cardinals, the Rams are in first place in the NFC West.
Oof.
You got to win that game.
Worst to first in one weekend.
You have got to win the next 2 football games. Catch your breath. Hopefully there's a reinforcement or 2 that's brought in, like when Sweat was brought here last year. When was the trade deadline last year? It was later, right?
It was 1 week earlier than this year, I believe.
Yeah.
Earlier.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it would have been like it would have been yesterday.
Okay, so
2 days ago.
Go out, play really good football on Sunday. I am picking them to win. And let Ryan cook. Let him go make a deal and go, oh, we got who? Because we did not see Montez Sweat rolling in here. Let's go.
Well, you also need the Rams to beat the Seahawks this weekend, because you need to make sure that the Seahawks aren't in the wild card mix, because then you have to beat the Seahawks to keep yourselves in the wild card mix. You've already beaten the Rams, so if it comes down to you and the Rams for a tiebreaker, you've got that covered.
All good.
You've got to beat the Cardinals this weekend, because if it comes down to you and the Cardinals, you got to have that tiebreaker. Same with the 49ers. Like all those games, the 2 games that are left, again, 3 games that are left against the NFC West are all must win for tiebreakers. You have to.
Every game the rest of the season for the Bears has become a must win because they didn't win in Washington.
Yeah. Well, yes. Outside of the division, yeah.
Boy,
for
I'd
sure.
love to hear from all the people who told me I was nuts for saying the Washington game was a must win.
I said it too, Shea.
I'd love
you
to.
And me.
I'd love to hear from those people.
I said Monday, right before we were talking about it. Not this past Monday, the Monday before the game. I was like, welcome to must-win week. You got to win. It's going to matter. We didn't think it would matter, but it's going to matter.
Yeah, before we have the Washington Commanders in the playoffs and winning like 12 football games, let's just let it go a little bit here.
Cap, they're 6-2.
I agree.
Barring the wheels completely falling off, they're winning 10 games. It is what it is.
Yeah, let's just worry about it. Get to 1-0 this week, period. That's it. That's it. Just go to 1-0 this week. That's all you can do.
And if you go to 0-1 this week, we can just kiss all of our goals goodbye.
Yeah, then you're in big trouble. No question about it. No question about it.
I want to talk about Indianapolis. If you think the situation is bad in Chicago with players speaking publicly, Anthony Richardson said his head coach Shane Steichen didn't explain why he was being benched, and wide receiver Michael Pittman said he learned of Richardson's benching on social media. You know what cures all of this? Winning on the road in Minnesota with Joe Flacco. But if the Colts lose this game, I think Shane Steichen loses his locker room.
Yeah, I don't know if I'd say he'd lose his locker room. What Anthony Richardson did was unconscionable. You're pulling yourself out of the game?
Yeah.
He was tired. He needed a rest.
I don't think the players necessarily disagree with benching him. I think that they probably disagree with the process. When you have a wide receiver saying he heard about it on social media, you have a communication issue in your organization.
Yeah, that's a problem. That's too in-house.
I got to think Chris Ballard's going to be in trouble.
That's a team. You want to talk about a team in crisis from yesterday? The Colts are definitely in crisis if you're doing this. For sure. For sure. But yeah, I think it's when we talk about the Bears not, having that inner circle and not talking to the media, that's a little too inner circle. You got to tell your players before it gets out on social media that you're benching your quarterback. And that you're going to go with Joe Flacco. You got to tell people. Simple as that.
Yeah, got to communicate better, but I got to think Chris Ballard would be in trouble.
Shea.
All right, the Lions continue their division slate this weekend, a game in Green Bay, and they have a chance, I think, to do what the Falcons have done and effectively padlock a division title early in the year. If they can beat Green Bay as 3.5-point favorites, they will have won both of their road games over Minnesota and Green Bay for the season. They would move to 7-1 and have the tiebreak in hand over both those teams with games at home left to play. I think it makes the pathway for everybody else in this division virtually impossible if the Lions beat Green Bay on Sunday.
That's probably a fact.
Yeah.
I think I co-sign with you.
Agree. And I think the Lions are going to win on Sunday.
I do too.
So yeah, fact.
So.
And I don't know if Jordan Love looks like he's going to play, or at least give it a go. I think he does end up playing. But I still think with Jordan Love, even with Jordan Love, this Lions team is playing like the second best team in the NFL right now.
Okay, all right. They are playing like the best team in the NFL right now.
So
Check your DVOA number.
Best team in the NFL happens to be the Kansas City Chiefs.
Yeah, they've got the best. Who's got the better quarterback?
Check your DVOA number.
Who's got the better quarterback? Who's got the better quarterback?
I get we're talking about career,
that
but
would be
Jared Goff is
Who's got the better
vastly
record?
outplaying Mahomes this
Who
year.
would you rather have in the Super Bowl? Would you bet against if
the Lions and Chiefs played today, I would bet the Lions, and I would bet they'd be favored depending on where the game's
and
at.
I would take Mahomes as a dog once again.
I'm with Abdallah, and I love the Lions and Dan Campbell. You know that. I got a grit hat at the house. I may wear it tomorrow. Yeah, 100%.
He's got a. Have you worn shorts recently? Are you wearing shorts today?
Yeah.
Have you seen? He's got Dan Campbell biting his kneecap.
You own a grit hat?
Who does?
You?
What's that?
You have a grit hat?
Yeah, I've worn it in here.
I don't even remember you ever wearing it. You have more Lions gear than I do, and I'm from there.
I have it doesn't say Lions. It's just
says
a white
grit.
hat with blue Honolulu blue grit.
It's a Lions hat.
Yeah, because I read the book Grit, and Pete Carroll spoke on a seminar that I dialed into online where he said we use the grit test on players and people in our organization before we bring them in. He said it's not about the most talent. Do you have grit? It's a great read. It's awesome. My wife got me to read it. They use it in their company. And I'm like, I typed in grit. Oh, Dan Campbell wears a grit hat? Sold.
Does Abdallah have grit?
So coming up, we have got
I woke up
deal
with grit.
breakers.
I got more grit.
And by
than
the way, can I just tell
woke
you,
up gritty.
Abdallah, you know I'm a big fan of yours. Very happy that you're here.
If you say something about Danny tweeting us about November, we're done. We've done this for months.
We're not
We've
doing
done it
the
before.
topic.
We
Dan,
did it before.
The Jayhawk
we did it.
is
you
so
guys,
right. November.
You guys then move to the south where it's hot and you don't have to worry about it.
sucks.
Go to Florida. Move to Florida. You'll be underwater in 3 years. Go ahead.
November.
Be hot.
It's my birth month. Birthdays are overrated. It's fine. I have a good meal with my wife and my kids, and that's it. My bro, we go out. Other than that,
Cool.
November blows.
That's just-
January blows.
Okay, cool.
February. I mean, what are we doing
No
here?
one said they liked February. I said I like November. I like October,
sucks.
November.
It's getting cold.
I didn't ask you.
Sucks, and we know it's around the corner.
I didn't ask Zetterman either. Sorry, Zetterman.
Such a horrible take.
Don't care. You don't have grit. You can't handle the cold. You don't have grit, bro. Sorry.
I got grit. I went to college in Minnesota. I can handle the cold.
I don't think you can. They got walkways in Minnesota, so you don't have to walk outside. They can't handle the grit.
Those are in Minneapolis. I lived in St. Paul. Take that. Thank you. All right. Deal Breakers is coming up next. No more horrible takes from Abdallah.